All right, how's everybody doing? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Sleepy, thanks for the lurk. Hey Jubo, how's it going? Happy time zones, everybody. I'm going to tweak some stuff here. Let's see if I can get some stuff working that's not working. Give everybody a little bit of time to filter in. Looks like we've got 4 people on Twitch right now. Nobody on YouTube yet. It's all right, Jubo. Better now. I think I finally got all the gym equipment put together. I attempted to put some music in the background for when I switch screens here. So if that's too loud, or if you can't hear it, or if it's too quiet, or if it's fighting my microphone, let me know. Yeah, it shouldn't be any music now. It should be here when I switch screens. Like now. Might be really quiet. Very quiet, Chubo says. All right, let's see what I can do about that. How's that? That's good. All right, thank you. And my chat sounds are working, so hopefully I can keep up with that. The screen overlay isn't perfect, but I kind of just threw it together. I didn't have time to test it today the way I wanted to, so I apologize for that. Oh, did you guys hear Dwarf Pill play? Probably not, huh?
Become a pugnacious wrecking ball of a man, solid as an oak stump, proudly stink of pipe tobacco, ale, sweat, dirt, and musk. Go spelunking and collect rocks, minerals, and precious or semi-precious gemstones and metals. Grab an axe, chop down some trees, and build your workshop. Forge your own tools and craft your own jewelry. Become skilled with a warhammer and the battle axe. Unlock the power belly. Feast, fight, live in a cave. And be happy.
Really loud, huh? All right. Well, we're not going to mess with that one right now. So I think the other ones are at pretty decent levels. So I'll try to remember to fix that. No promises. All right. Got a few of us here, so let's go ahead and get started. Who's played Shadow Dark before? It will wake people up. That's always important. So we're here to talk about, well, we're eventually going to get to creating a Shadow Dark character using shadowdarklings.net It's a website that has a free character creator on it. So I've got Shadow Dark Wings pulled up, and I've got the Shadow Dark rules book pulled up as well, which is available on the Dungeoneers Guild Discord server under the resources category in the Shadow Dark resources channel. You can download it, doesn't cost anything. I paid for it. So feel free to use that. There's other resources there too. There's some character sheets if you don't like online character sheets. Oh, we got a raid from Tyler. Thanks, Tyler. How's it going? How'd Lotro turn out? I threaten to play that game all the time, but like so many others, it just never happens. Thanks for the raid. If anybody hasn't checked out Tyler before, he is what I would call a variety streamer. She plays Lotro and Skyrim and Final Fantasy and Return to Moria. And she's all around awesome. My favorite Chaos Goblin. Got loads of quests done, just been on a murder spree. Nice. Nice. All right, so I do want to talk a little bit about the Dungeoneers Guild in general before we get started. I feel like maybe not everybody understands the intended use of the Dungeoneers Guild. So if you're on the Dungeoneers Guild, have a look around. Please read all of the channel descriptions and the rules and things like that. It's a lot, I know that, but I think it's important for everybody to understand that stuff. And I don't have the time, and I don't want to occupy my time by sending individual messages or having individual conversations, when I think I did a pretty good job of laying out the rules and the descriptions of those channels. The purpose is not for me to schedule a bunch of games and get people to play in. The purpose is to have people interact on that Discord server, talk to each other, decide that they want to play a game together, and then schedule that game through the Dungeoneers Guild Discord server. In the process of all that, they can find a game master, which currently I am the only game master on the server, but I really hope that that changes, because I really want everybody that's on the server and people that come to the server in the future to be able to find games to play in. And my time is limited. I've got 3 kids that are in high school sports, and just regular adult responsibilities. And I love to play games, but I just don't have time to DM for everybody, to run games for everybody. So hopefully we can encourage some other people to run games and teach other people to run games if needed. I'm willing to do all of that. So if you have questions after you've read the channel descriptions and things like that, shoot me a message. I'm happy to clarify anything. So I am hoping to start my first game here in hopefully within the next couple weeks. Doing a Shadow Dark game.
Let's give these bastards a good hammering! Cannot! Dore no!
Going Wave says, for once I got left behind. Left behind? We're not leaving anybody behind. Oh, the murder spree. Okay. That's, well, at least you weren't on the receiving end of a murder spree, Don. So that's what I'll say about the Dungeoneers Guild Discord server for now. If you have any questions, ask them now, ask them later, shoot me a message. If you're not on the Dungeoneers Guild Discord server and you'd like to be, you can start by joining my other Discord server and shooting me a message through there to get an invite. Because it is an invite only, and I am the only one that has the ability to invite anybody at this point in time. Not that I don't trust y'all, but you gotta be careful. like a secret society. All right, let's take a look at the rule book and learn about making characters. So the rule book, I have the physical copy of the book as well, and it might seem weird to open up the book with a list of weapons and armor and their stats, but it's a really nice feature on the physical book to have that on the inside cover. So the PDF is just going in that order. And this is explaining some of the core terms and ideas within the book. Difficulty class, whenever you try to do something in the game, you have to roll against a difficulty class. If it's an attack, you're rolling against somebody's armor class, which is the level of armor that they're wearing. But if you're trying to leap a narrow chasm, or sneak up on an inattentive guard, or kick open a door, or pick a lock, swimming against strong current, giving first aid to another character, things like that. You have to meet or beat the difficulty class. So an easy DC, which stands for difficulty class, is a 9. You have to roll a 9 or higher to complete an easy, to be successful at an easy task. 12 or higher for normal, 15 or higher for hard, 18 or higher would be extreme. Morale, enemies are reduced to half their number or half their hit points for a solo enemy. Flee if they fail a DC 15 wisdom check. So if they roll 14 or lower on that wisdom check, they fail and they run away. So, dying. Shadowdark is a grittier, more deadly game than Dungeons and Dragons, which is what most people are familiar with when you start talking about TTRPGs. So if you die, you basically have 1 to maybe 7 rounds for somebody to come heal you before your character is dead. You can stabilize characters. They talk about distance and movement here. They talk about spell focuses. We'll get into all that later, or if you have questions about it, let me know and we can cover it now. Let's see here. We're going to we'll just jump right to character creation. And if you want to follow along, you can bring up shadowdarklings.net and you'll come to this page and you can click on characters. And then you can click on create a character. For everybody's first game, I recommend you just stick with core sources and don't add these extra ones because they have new rule sets and things that are more complex than what you're going to find in this base book. Not going to do any third party. So this will tell you what ancestries and classes are available to you at this point in time. So you can be a dwarf, an elf, a goblin, a half-orc, a halfling, or a human. Classes, you can be a fighter, priest, thief, and wizard. Okay. And where you're going to design, you can just click on random and it'll spit out a random character for you. But we're going to design our own character. We want to enable edit mode. And the first thing we're going to do, let's see here. Hey, thanks for the follow. Coming over from Tyler's channel. Appreciate you. So with your character, you're going to choose a name, choose a worthy name for your adventurer, right? Get creative with it, get cheesy with it. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. But whether you choose to be creative or cheesy or serious or dark or fantastical kind of sets the tone for for the way you're going to play to everybody else at the table. So just keep that in mind. Ancestry, this is your character's cultural and ancestral heritage. Back when we were cavemen in the 80s playing, we called this race. For obvious reasons, we try to steer away from that. We've changed the ancestry now. Class, this is your character's job. Your job as your character is that fighter, priest, thief, wizard. Not like janitor or mechanic or anything like that. That's your background. So level, you either start at 0 level or first level. It's up to you and your DM. You can discuss that. I usually have people start at first level, but there are these things called meat grinders, which is an adventure where you start at 0 level, and Chaos Goblin Jubo is probably an ancestry. So Meat Grinder is a short adventure, like a single session adventure. Sessions usually last 3 to up to 8 hours. I know people that have played longer than that. I try to keep them right around 4. 4-hour session seems good to let you get a decent amount done, but also not feel like you're at the table all day. So the Meat Grinder is a single session adventure. You start with usually 4 0-level characters, and you run them. You play one at a time, one of those characters at a time, and each person has 4 0-level characters. They play one character at a time. If that character dies or gets taken out of the adventure some way, then they pick up the next character and start playing it. And the idea is to have at least one character survive through the end of the Meat Grinder, and then be able to level that character up to 1 and then carry them through the rest of your adventuring campaign in the next several sessions, if that's what you choose to do. So we're going to go ahead and make up a first level character today. You know what? Yeah, we're going to make up one first level character, and then while I'm chatting with you guys, I'm going to go through and make up a bunch of 0-level characters for a Meat Grinder that I have coming up. XP stands for experience. You start with 0 experience. You gain experience points based on the treasure and boons you earn from adventuring. Alignment and deity. Your character's cosmic link to opposing forces of law, chaos, and balanced neutrality. Traditional Dungeons and Dragons has 9 alignments. It's a mix of the chaos versus law and the good versus evil and neutrality. But Shadowdark breaks that down to just these 3. A title, as you gain levels, your prestige grows. Your title is based on your level, class, and alignment. There's a list of those later in the book. Background, your history and past experience. This is like you were a blacksmith before you became a battle priest or something like that. You're adept at tasks related to your background. So if you were a blacksmith and now you're a fighter, you can repair your weapons and armor for cheaper. Things like that. Your stats, these are the 6 scores that determine your physical and mental characteristics. These are the same as traditional Dungeons and Dragons. You have strength, dexterity, and constitution, which are physical attributes, and you have intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, which are your more mental attributes. A lot of people think charisma is how good looking your character is. That doesn't really have anything to do with your character's looks. It's more about your force of personality. And then HP stands for hit points. This represents the amount of injury you can sustain before you die. Taking damage from weapons, traps, spells, and other sources temporarily reduces your HP. You can regain HP by resting, or by getting healing spells cast upon your character, or drinking potions and things like that. So let's go ahead and jump to, AC stands for armor class. This is the type of difficulty class that shows how tough it is to injure you, whether because you're agile or you wear armor. Your class determines the type of armor you can wear. Like thieves can't wear heavy armor, but warriors, fighters can wear any armor. Attacks, the weapons you wield and how you use them to fight an enemy. You can wield the weapons listed for your class. Again, your class will restrict what weapons you know how to use. So Tyler says, it's not a genetic, it's pure essence. It's my calling. All right, that's fair. Well, then I guess that's your class. Chaos is your class. Goblin is your ancestry. Talents, your special abilities. Your class, ancestry, and talent roles grant you these. The benefits of the talents combine even the same talent rolled multiple times. So we'll get into talents a little bit more on a deeper level as we create this character. Spells, some classes can learn and cast magic spells. And gear, your equipment. You can carry a number of items equal to 10 or your strength stat, whichever is higher. So if you have a 9 or lower strength stat, you can still carry 10 items, 10 pieces of gear. If you have a 15 strength, then you can carry 15 pieces of gear. Some pieces of gear, like climbing spikes, pitons, takes 10 of them to take up one gear slot. Other things can take up multiple gear slots if they're large. So here we talk about some 0 level characters. Like I said, in first level characters, we're going to start with the first level character, and then we'll come back to this page to talk about 0 level characters. Some games begin with first level characters, fledgling heroes who are ready to go on dangerous adventures. Their characters are tougher than their 0 level counterparts and have more defined roles in their adventuring teams. First level characters start with stats, choice of ancestry, choice of class, 1 class talent roll, hit points equal to 1 roller of their class's hit points die plus their constitution modifier. And again, we'll dive into all this on a deeper level as we're making the character. They start with a background, a choice of alignment, a title, and a starting gear. So let's pick that background. We have, and chat, feel free to sound off if you want to help with the details of this. We have an urchin. Urchin, you grew up in the merciless streets of a large city. You got to think how that might help, like what skills that's going to give you. You might know your way around cities a little bit better and understand the flow of a city, things like that. Wanted, there's a price in your head, but you have allies. That whole you have allies thing can be fun because you don't get to tell the game master, oh, I know a guy in this town and he's got all the goods and he can really help me. But you can say, hey, do I know anybody in this town? And I would look at your character sheet, see that you have the wanted background, and give you a higher chance of knowing somebody that could help you out of a sticky situation. Cult initiate, you know blasphemous secrets and rituals. You were probably part of a cult at some point in time until you got mad at your parents and ran away from home. Thieves Guild, you have connections, contacts, and debts. You are or were part of a Thieves Guild at some point in time, and you have to deal with all the good, bad, and ugly that comes with that. Banished, your people cast you out for supposed crimes. That sounds like it's all bad, but maybe it helps you find like-minded folks that can help you. Orphaned, an unusual guardian rescued and raised you, so you have some type of benefactor. Wizard's apprentice, you have a knack and an eye for magic. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a wizard either. Jeweler, you can easily appraise value and authenticity of jewelry. Herbalist, you know plants, medicines, and poisons. With the right equipment, you could probably craft some of those. The higher level you are, and the more you use this ability, the better you would get at crafting things, the more complex things you could craft. Barbarian, you left the horde, but it never quite left you. Mercenary, you fought friend and foe alike for your coin. Sailor, pirate, privateer, or merchant, the seas are yours. Acolyte, You're well trained in religious rites and doctrines. So that's kind of like the more lawful version of the cult initiate. The cult initiate would be chaotic. Soldier, you served as a fighter in an organized army. Ranger, the woods and wilds are your true home. Scout, you survived on stealth, observation, and speed. Nope, I skipped over Scholar. Skipped over a few. Minstrel, you've traveled far with your charm and talent. You probably know how to sing, or how to perform, or how to play an instrument. Scholar, you know much about ancient history and lore. Noble, a famous name has opened many doors for you. And a chirurgeon, you know anatomy, surgery, and first aid. So, how's everybody feel? What kind of background do we want to saddle this character with? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Jubo says the surgeon. Okay, anybody else? You can sound off with a random number between 1 and 20 also if you want to. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Jubo says break out the dice. That's no fun, Tyler. Just throw some ideas out there, and I'll, in the meantime, I'll tell Google to roll some dice. 19. Yeah, sorry, I don't have my dice at the table. If you guys want me to take a small break and run and get some regular dice, I can absolutely do that. Should I do that? Of course I should. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I should have been prepared. I should have known somebody was going to call for real dice sounds. Were you able to hear that? Do I need to move the microphone? Got the clicky clacks. Was that better? Right? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. For the background, I'm going to roll 2d20. And chat gets to pick white or blue, because that's what color my dice are. I have a white d20 and a blue d20. So here we go. Rolling for our background. All right. Are we picking white or blue? Jubo says blue. All right, blue it is. So blue, we rolled a 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Soldier. All right, you served as a fighter in an organized army. All right, now we're going to do stat rolls. Okay, so let's take a look at what the book says to do about stat rolls. To determine your character's stat rolls, roll 3d6 in order for each one. Note each total and modifier on your character sheet. Optionally, if none of your stats are a 14 or higher, you may roll a new set of 6 numbers. All right? So I want everybody to keep... Can you guys still hear me? Is the mic... I moved the mic, so I want to make sure you can still hear me and still hear the dice. Okay. So, what this is telling us to do is roll 6 stats and put them in the order that you rolled them in. So our first roll is going to be strength. Now, you're probably immediately thinking we've got a soldier background, we should be a fighter. That's not necessarily the case. You don't have to be a fighter just because you have the soldier background. But our first roll is going to be in strength. Our second is going to be in dexterity. Third in constitution. Fourth in intelligence, then wisdom, then charisma. Okay? There's 100,000 different ways to do your scores, but this is the way we're going to do it by the book. So, PTSD debuff, yeah, good call. All right, I did only grab a set that has one 6-sider, unfortunately, so let me go grab a couple more 6-siders. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. Be right back. All right, we're back. So I grabbed a grab bag of dice here. It's got a bunch of miscellaneous dice in it. You guys don't want to know how many dice I own. And I also grabbed some new dice that I recently ordered. And I will have to post a picture of these. Also, I opened a drawer and to look for a dice tray and found the very first dice tray that I ever owned, which is a dice tray that I made out of PVC and felt and a clipboard, and this thing's seen better days. I'll think about posting a picture of that too, but you can't judge me for it. You got to understand this thing's been through 2 house fires and probably 15 moves, so no judgment. All right, the new dice that I ordered look like teeth, so I'll post a picture of those on the Dungeoneers Guild Discord later. So let's roll those teeth. It has seen things, Tyler. It's got PTSD. All right, so we're gonna roll these teeth dice because they are D6s and get our strength score. These things kind of roll weird. Got a couple cocked dice there. All right, we rolled 2 5s and a 2 for 12. 12 strength, not terrible. All right, now we're going to do our dexterity. And we rolled 2 5s and a 3 for a 13. Now, if we don't roll a 14 or higher on one of these 6 scores, we can roll them all again. But if we roll 114, doesn't matter what the rest look like, we're keeping them. All right, here we got a 6, a 4, and a 2 for another 12. 12 Constitution. And now on to Intelligence. We got 2 6s and a 3 for 15. So there we go. We're keeping these scores, which they could all go down the tubes right now and we'd still be doing pretty good. All of them popped. Man, these dice are terrible to roll, but they look cool. And we have a 2 and 2 1s for a 4 wisdom. I jinxed it, guys. And here's our last score for our charisma. And that is 2 4s and a 2 for a total of 10. He is so pretty, Jubo. Okay, so now you see these scores. A Giga Chad, yeah. You see all these scores have a bonus number, a plus number in parentheses behind them. So your strength score is a 12. Your modifier for your strength is a +1. So like when you roll your attack roll, you get a +1 to hit and a +1 to damage. Dexterity, got a +1 there as well. Constitution +1, that's going to give us a +1 to our hit points. Our intelligence is 15, we got a +2 to that. Our wisdom has a -3 modifier, and our 10 charisma has no modifier. So here you see we've got rankings. This is just a tool that this has built in, that this character generator has built into it. It's telling you that these are the 3 classes you should consider the most. Wizard, 41%. That's because our highest score is in intelligence, and that's the prime requisite for wizards. Fighter, 30%, and thief, 30%. That's because fighter's prime requisite could be strength or dexterity, depending on what kind of weapon you want to use, and the thief's primary requisite is dexterity. So we'll keep all that in mind, because the next question, not the next question, but coming up is going to be a question of what class we're going to pick, and you want to keep those three in mind. All right. Ancestry: dwarf, elf, goblin, halfling, half-orc, human. Do you guys want to pick, or do you want to let the dice decide? Let me know. I'm going to get a drink of water. Not going anywhere. Just trying to hydrate. Bro says dice. Tyler says dice as well. All right. All right, we're going to roll that D6. I've got some dice that have designs on them here that look somewhat dwarven. And so I'm going to roll those just because, you know, I'm trying to put that out there. Also, so we're rolling 1D6 and we're re-rolling 2s, right, guys? Right? Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. D6 re-rolling 2s. Any objections? Okay, thanks. And we rolled a 3. We got a goblin. Everybody good with the goblin? Goblin it is. So, goblins. They're green. They're clever. They're beings who thrive in dark, cramped places. As fierce as they are tiny. And languages, you know the common and the goblin languages. And you have keen senses, which means you cannot be surprised. He does have a high intelligence, yes. All right. So, next we have class. We've got fighter, we've got priest, we've got thief, we've got wizard. The generator tells us that we should either be a wizard or we should consider fighter or thief. Cousin, perhaps? Oh, Tyler's cousin? Yeah, possible. So, do we want to pick or do we want to roll? I think we're probably sticking with the theme of rolling, right? I'm going to roll 2 D4s. You guys are going to pick the color again. How's that sound? I should have done that with the... All right, rolling those dice. We have a blue one and we have a green one. So pick your color. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna re-roll those because we need to take into consideration the generator is telling us we should do a wizard, a thief, or a fighter. No mention of priest. Do we want to eliminate the priest and roll D3, or do we want to include the priest and just have a total dog shit character with a 4 wisdom? Yep, roll a D3. Is that what you're saying, Jubo? Oh, Tyler says include it for chaos. All right. Rolling the D4. We rolled doubles. We're re-rolling since it was doubles. Okay, and you guys said green or blue? Looks like you said green. You're sticking with green? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tyler says always green. Well, that's good because green was fighter and blue was priest. All right. blood-soaked gladiators in dented armor, acrobatic duelists with darting swords, or far-eyed elven archers who carve their legends with steel and grit. You get to use all weapons. You can use all armor and shields. You get 1d8 hit points per level. You have the Hauler feature, which means you add your Constitution modifier, if it's positive, to your gear slots. And you have Weapon Mastery. Choose one type of weapon, such as long swords. You gain a +1 to attack and damage with that weapon type. In addition, half of your levels to these rolls rounded down. You have grit. You choose strength or dexterity. You have advantage on checks of that type to overcome an opposing force, such as kicking open a stuck door with strength or slipping free of rusty chains with dexterity. Chaos undid the chaos plan. Love it. Yeah. Okay, so the Hauler feature, add your Constitution modifier if it's positive to your gear slots. Our Constitution is a 12 +1, and our Strength is a 12. So we have 12 gear slots because it's either 10 or your Strength, whichever is higher. And then we're going to 13 because we get to add our Constitution. So that's pretty awesome. And then, but 2 rights still don't make a left. Yeah, enough rights will make a left. Okay, so we need to select our weapon mastery. So we got to look at these and decide what we think would be good for a goblin, and then choose one of them to gain mastery. It doesn't mean it's the only thing we can use. It just means it's the one we're the best at. So we have Bastard Sword, which is a sword you can use one-handed or two-handed. Clubs, crossbows, daggers, great axes, which should be a two-handed axe. Great sword, two-handed sword. Javelin, longbow, long sword, mace, short bow, short sword, spear, staff, or warhammer. So the things to take into consideration, we've got that 12 strength, but we've got a 13 dexterity. They both have the same bonus, so right now it doesn't matter which one we decide to favor, but if one of them ever goes up, the 13 is going to get a better modifier sooner than the 12 will, because 12 is going to go to a 13 and still be a +1. The 13 will go to a 14 and become a +2. So keep that in mind. And what do you want to pick for weapon mastery? Or we could also choose strength or dexterity for our grit. We can go with the dice, or the obvious thing to pick is the dexterity because it's the higher score. But up to you guys. Dice or dexterity? And the way we'll roll for this one, if you guys want to do the roll, is we'll roll 2 20-siders. One of them will be high and one of them will be low. No, we'll just roll 2 20-siders, and whichever one rolls the higher number is which one we'll go with. So do you want blue to be dexterity, or do you want blue to be strength? Have I lost everybody? So blue is dexterity. All right. Here we go. We got a 16 and a 20. 20 is on the white. So it's gonna be strength, folks. So strength is our grit. And so now we want to pick a weapon that's more strength based. So something like Warhammer. Does it tell me what the properties are? It doesn't. Let's go to the weapons page in the book. Okay, so over here on the weapons and properties, we have a V. V stands for versatile. You can use it one-handed or two-handed. You can use strength or dexterity for it. No, that's not true. Versatile is one-handed or two-handed. One-handed does 1d8 damage. Two-handed does 1d10 damage. Crossbow has the two-handed and the loading property. That bastard sword, as well as any of the great weapons, two-handed weapons, take up 2 slots in your inventory. The dagger is TH for thrown and F for finesse, which means you can apply your dexterity to it instead of your strength. What else has? That's the only one that has the finesse. So everything else is going to add our strength to it. So keep that in mind. Literally must start shouting about a Warhammer of Justice. Well, we can pick the Warhammer. Unless you want a selection of weapons to roll from. Or you just want to roll from the whole list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. Anybody have any objections to just picking the Warhammer? All right, we're going with the Warhammer. All right, next we choose our talent. These are the possible fighter talents. Now you can just pick one. We're obviously going to roll for one, but you can just pick which one you want. So our choices are gain weapon mastery with 1 additional weapon.
How do you like that? The old twiddly whirlies.
Or we can pick +1 to melee and ranged attacks. +2 to strength, dexterity, or a constitution stat. That'd be nice because that would take our, if we put that into strength, it would take it up to a 14, which would change it to a +2. Choose one kind of armor, you get a +1 AC from that armor. Or choose a talent and +2 points to distribute the stats. So, we're going to get out the D12. We'll get out 2 D12s and we'll let you guys pick which one you want. So we're going to do blue and purple. So pick your color. That was double. Hugo says purple. How did I know that was going to happen? Purple. All right. We got a 12. It means we get to choose a talent or +2 points to distribute the stats. So we can choose one of these off the list, or we can add 2 points to stats. We could bring our strength up to a 14 and get +2 to our hit and damage with our weapons. Or we could take our constitution up to 14 and get a +2. That would allow us to carry more loot and give us more hit points. I say we take the +2 points to stats. And I will roll to see if they go into Constitution or strength.
No, she says,
We're going to do the D20 again.
Her voice is beautiful. This is the voice of hope. If you want all your dreams to come true, then you just need to learn how to dream. Learn to dream so that it looks like reality. And then everything will be as you
Okay, we're going to do blue goes to Constitution and white goes to Strength. And the higher number wins. We got a 19 and a 12.
Mother of God sheds tears.
Rolling a d6 and those 2 points going to intelligence.
She prays about the sinful young people.
What do you mean rolling a d6, Tyler? Oh, you mean instead of the d12 and just saying screw it?
A miasma has consumed the planet, and you still don't know what to do with it. What are you talking about? About what I told you on the island, about your love for the earth. Now you know how it affects you, and I didn't want to tell you that in that situation. If I'd known then that you couldn't save her, I wouldn't have done it. But now you should know.
Okay. And we get to roll our hit points.
That it was a mistake.
Gonna roll a d8.
Now you don't know where this planet has gone. We will have to look for it.
And whatever we get,
And this may
it will automatically add our Constitution modifier too. So it's going to be +2, whatever we roll +2. And we roll the 6. So we should end up with 8 hit points. Yep, 8 hit points. All right, now we get to roll for our starting gold. We get to roll 2d6 and multiply it by 5. And we rolled a 7. So we could start with 35 gold pieces, and we have 14 gear slots. Crawling kit. So let's see what we can find out about a crawling kit. It's asking us if you want to buy a crawling kit. It's recommended that all first-time characters buy a crawling kit. Gear. Where does it talk about the crawling kit at? Let's just buy the crawling kit, and then that'll tell us what it gives. Oh, there's the crawling kit. Crawling kit costs 7 gold pieces, and it uses 7 gear slots, and it contains a backpack, which is a free slot. It doesn't take up a slot. A flint and steel for 1 slot. 2 torches for 2 slots. 3 servings of rations for 1 slot. 10 iron spikes for 1 slot. A grappling hook for 1 slot, and 60 feet of rope for 1 slot. So yes, we're going to buy a crawling kit. We're going to change. Yep, we're going to leave it at XP. We're currently 1st level. We need 10 experience points to get to 2nd level. Other features. What do we want our name to be, everybody? This is all you guys. You guys got to come up with a name. That's right. Sam knows all about the rope. I wonder if the Ancestries has suggested names. Let's go check that out. Ancestry. Nope, no suggested names for Ancestries. All right. Do we want to see if we can find a random name generator? Goblin name generator. fantasynamegenerators.com. Goblin name generator. So, is her goblin a male or a female? Votes? Should we roll for it? Let's roll for it. And you guys pick high or low. I'm going to roll percentile dice. So 0 to 100, or 1 to 100. And you tell me if male or female is high. So 51 to 100, is it going to be male or is it going to be female? Anything below that will be the opposite. Anything above 51 is a female. And we got a 97, so our goblin is a female. Get female names. All right. I'm going to click this get female names a randomly generated number of times by rolling a d6. So I'm going to click it twice. And we're going to pick from these names. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 names. So we're going to roll d10 twice. I have purple and I have blue. Name your color. She picked blue that time. All right. Don't want blue to feel left out. All right, so blue rolled a 5. And that makes the name. Are we pronouncing that Kesh or Sesh? C-E-S-H. I think it's Kesh. Jibo says Kesh. Tyler says Kesh. All right, Kesh it is. Back to the character generator. We're going to leave it spelled with a C, though, because then people can read it and mispronounce it and shouldn't get pissed off about it. Alignment, lawful, neutral, or chaotic. I feel like there's a really obvious choice here. But if you want me to roll for it, I will. That's what I thought. Thank you for confirming. All right, deity. So obviously you want to pick a chaotic deity, right? So your choices would be Memnon of the Dark Trio, Ramlot of the Dark Trio, or Shun the Vile of the Dark Trio. Let's see what the book says about deities. Memnon was the first manifestation of chaos. He is Madeira's twin, a red-maned Leonin being whose ultimate ambition is to rend the cosmic laws of the Covenant from his sister's skin. Ramlot is the pillager, The barbaric, the horde. Many orcs worship him and live by the blood rite, a prophecy that says only the strongest will survive a coming doom. Shun the Vile. Shun whispers arcane secrets to sorcerers and witches who call to her in the dark hours. She schemes to displace Ord so she can control the vast flow of magic herself. Also, we have the Lost, who is a god of questionable alignment. 2 of the 9 are lost to the ages, their names expunged from history and memory, yet their whispered legend lives on in ancient texts and forgotten places. I mean, that sounds fun. So let's roll a d4. Blue or green? I don't think I have another D. Ooh, you know what? I do have another D4 here. I have a clear, sparkly D4. Secret Guides no one has heard of sounds like all the fun. Honestly, that's what I was thinking too, but I figured you guys would want to roll. But if you don't want to roll, then by all means, let's pick the Lost. What's more chaotic than that? All right, so your final stats are 12 strength, 13 dexterity, 14 constitution, 15 intelligence, 4 wisdom, 10 charisma. Let me explain something. The best way I can describe the difference between intelligence and wisdom, because a lot of people ask that. I realize nobody's asked that today. But people will ask eventually. So, intelligence versus wisdom. Intelligence is book smarts. Wisdom is street smarts. Intelligence is knowing that the tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing that it's a fruit, but knowing that it's not okay to put it in a fruit salad. Fair? Our armor class is 11. That's because we haven't bought any equipment yet. So our armor class is an 11 because armor class starts at 10 and add your dexterity modifier to it. So we have an 11 because we're not wearing any armor, but we're a fighter, so we can wear any armor that we want to. So keep that in mind. These are our weapons permitted. These are our armor permitted. We know common and we know goblin. Our title is knave. So we are a goblin knave. And let's see here. We're going to save. And then we're going to export it to a form fillable PDF. And now we have this editable character sheet. But actually, let's go back here because, okay, we can add to our equipment here. So we need to pick our weapons. So we took mastery in the Warhammer, so we got to pick a Warhammer. That's a 2-handed weapon. That means we're not getting a shield. We're going to buy our Warhammer for 10 gold pieces. Do we want any other weapons? Do we want to buy it? You know what? Let's buy armor before we buy more weapons. How's that sound? Armor. We can wear any of this armor. But the only armor that we can buy at first level is leather and a shield. So it looks like we're going to buy leather for 10 gold pieces. Because we can't use a shield because we have a 2-handed weapon. I shouldn't say the only armor we can buy at first level. The only armor we can buy right now is the leather and the shield because it's all we have the money for. We don't have enough money to buy any of this other stuff. So, and anytime you are getting gear or weapons or armor, you can click on the shopping cart. That's going to buy it. It's going to spend your money to buy it. If you click on the $sign, that will sell it back. You'll get your money back. You click on the hand, you get that item for no cost. So if you came back to edit your character sheet and you were trying to give your character the stuff that you looted from a dungeon, you'd use this button instead of the purchase button. And then if you just press X, that will get rid of the item from your inventory, and it won't give you any money back. It won't take any money from you. So the 5-finger discount button, right? So we are currently using 9 of our 14 gear slots. There should be a way to equip that. Okay, we'll figure that out in a bit. We can buy some basic gear if we want to, because we've got 5 gear slots left, but also you want to have gear slots left because you don't want to, you want to have space to bring loot out of the dungeon, right? So do we need any other gear? We currently have, it shows a little number in parentheses next to, we have no, let me see this 1 second. So it kind of looks like it's telling us that that's what we have, but do we have a crossbow? No, that's weird. So I think the crossbow bolts, it's, if we buy this, it's telling us, it's in brackets, not parentheses. It's telling us that's how many is going to be added to our equipment. The number in parentheses is how many we already have. So bracketed 20 on arrows and on crossbow bolts means it would add that many to our inventory in 1 slot. We already have 1 stack of iron spikes, which is 10 iron spikes. We already have one slot of rations, which is 3 servings of rations. So we're not going to buy any more equipment right now. We're going to save those extra 5 gear slots. Now, here's the unique rule about Shadow Dark. The thing that makes it the most different than any other TTRPG is the real-time timer for the torch. So when you light a torch, the game master starts a timer for 1 hour. And in 1 hour, your torch goes out. And if you don't light a torch off of your burning torch, then you're fumbling around in the dark trying to light a new torch, and you might fail at that. You might lose your torch, you might drop your torch and lose it, things like that. So, and sometimes you get in places. I played a Shadow Dark tournament where the rule was that because we were in the Shadow realm, torches only lasted for 30 minutes instead of an hour. So all things to keep in mind. So I could fill up my slots with torches, but I'm not going to do that because we're just making this character for fun, right? So that's the first Shadow Dark character. You can export this as a PDF or as a JSON file. You can just copy it to clipboard, or you can export it to a JSON file. If you're sending me a character to play in one of my games, I will be using the Foundry virtual tabletop to run online games. I need a JSON file to add your character to Foundry. So you can export it to PDF for your own purposes, but export it to JSON to send it to me, or to put it in your character portfolio on the Dungeoneers Guild, so that whoever you're playing with, whatever Dungeon Master you're playing with, can grab that and import it into their virtual tabletop. You can actually upload both a PDF and a JSON file. That would be great. Okay. So we've got this character saved. Actually, we're going to save and exit. And now we're going to go back into create a character, and we're going to make some random characters here. Some random 0 level characters. Not so random that I'm going to use the random generated thing, but I don't want to roll for background. Why is it making me roll for background? It didn't just do that before. Design. Design a character. Enable edit mode. That's what I didn't do. All right. So if anybody's got any questions, anything at all about TTRPGs, about Shadow Dark, about character creation, about the Dungeoneers Guild, about my 35 plus years of experience playing tabletop role-playing games, most of that being a game master, feel free to ask. I'm gonna sit here for, I don't know, probably another 30 minutes to an hour and make up some random characters for a meat grinder that I have coming up. We can talk about that a little bit. Can't talk about it too much because I might have players watching this video, and I don't want to give away too much, but that's what I'm going to work on right now. So we'll roll some random backgrounds here. Gonna make ourselves a minstrel. And that strength is an 8. And dexterity is an 8. That's not good. Constitution is a 6. And that's a 7. I don't think this character is going to make it through the meat grinder. There we've got a 13 wisdom. And we've got a 14 charisma. Is it not going to let us make a 0 level character here? The ancestry is dwarf. No, actually, let's roll to see if we get a dwarf or a halfling. Sorry, had a quick visitor. All right, so rolling for that, we're 1 and 2 is a dwarf, and 3 and 4 is a halfling. And we got a halfling minstrel. Small, cheerful country folk with mischievous streaks. They enjoy life's simple pleasures. They know the common language, and they have the talent stealthy. Once per day, you can become invisible for 3 rounds. Tyler says, high wisdom and charisma, low everything else makes perfect sense for a minstrel. I agree. I don't want to select the class. So this is making me make a first level character. So let's go back and do this. I assume that random 1 means that it's going to make me a random first level character. Filter ancestries. We'll put a human in there. Nope. This is the first time I've ever used this to make a random character, so why is it telling me no ancestries or classes available? But oh, why did I leave elf on there? That's terrible. Okay, we got Gorm the Dwarf Ranger, Pop Fensum the Halfling Scout, Dreve the Human Cult Initiate. I don't like these random characters. We're going to try something different. Let's go to the Dungeoneers Guild, Discord server, Shadow Dark Resources. All right, now we've got our character sheet, sorry. Okay, let's start with our stats. Get those dice out. Ooh, starting with a 15 in strength. Which is going to give us a +2. Dexterity. We got a 7. Which gives us a -2. Constitution. It's a 9. -1. Intelligence. That's an 8. From -1. Wisdom. That's a 15 for a +2 charisma. 13 for a +1. All right. Name. Well, let's figure out what our ancestry is first. Okay. 1 halfling. Sorry, 1 and 2 halfling, 3 and 4 human, 5 and 6 dwarf. We got 2. We got a halfling. We're not going to do a class. We're going to do 0 level. Let's see what it says about 0 level characters again. Zero level characters start with stats, choice of ancestry, hit points equal to their constitution modifier with a minimum of 1. So that means this character has 1 hit point. And choice of alignment, background, choice of alignment, and starting gear. So there's something else I wanted to do here quick, and now I've lost it. Don't remember what it was. Oh, sorry, that's XP. We want 1 hit point. AC is going to be 10 minus dexterity for it. 8. Alignment. We will do 1 and 2 is lawful, 3 and 4 is neutral, 5 and 6 is chaotic. We rolled a 4. Neutral. Background. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. Halfling. Control C. This is what's nice about the form fillable PDFs. You can just copy and paste right from the document you're using. And put languages in there. All right, let's roll for our background. You're well-trained in religious acolyte. You're well-trained in religious rites and doctrines. Let's see if there's enough room for that. Probably not. No. Neutral acolyte. Madeira of the Covenant. Madeira is the first manifestation of law. No, it's lawful, sorry. Or the unbending, the wise, the secret keeper. He is the god of magic, knowledge, secrets, and equilibrium. Geed, the god of feasts, mirth, and the wild. Geed is usually peaceful, but primal storms rage when their anger rises. Many elves and halflings worship her. Sounds good to me. Starting gear. 0 level characters start with 1d4 of the following items. Alright, so let's roll that 4-sider. Two. Starting with a torch and a pole. Torch is obvious. Characters in Shadow Dark don't have dark vision, which is Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of your ancestry determines whether or not you have dark vision. The player characters in Shadow Dark don't have dark vision. The monsters can have dark vision and usually do have dark vision. So torches are super important. A pole could be like a walking stick. Poles are really common for old school dungeon crawling, to poke and prod at things in the dungeon to see if they're trapped before you actually touch them. You hear people talk about a 10-foot pole all the time. So it says armor class is 10 plus your dexterity modifier. It doesn't say anything about lowering it based on your dexterity. But we're going to be kind and just not apply the negative. Pull better than lick. Got it. Yep, that's absolutely right, Tyler. Okay, and that, well, we need a name. Let's do... halfling names. We'll just do the Dungeons and Dragons thing. All right. So we determined that above 50% is female, below 50% is male. This is a female. There should be 10 here. 3. Yep, 10. Okay, do we want to do Tharkath Goodstride or Zanli High Shadow? Any choices? First one, Dywin Flint Dance. Oh, the first I said, Tharkath Goodstride. All right. There we go. Saw that one before I rolled, thought it was perfect. Sounds good. I'm here for it. Okay. So we're going to... well, I'm going to throw that on a different screen. And then go back to my fillable character sheet. I think I'm just opening several copies of this. Is what I'm doing at this point in time. All right, next character. So now we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 is a human, 4, 5, and 6 is a dwarf. This one's gonna be a dwarf. You're gonna notice that I'm making more dwarves than anything else. That's because the meat grinder that I'm running is going to be the lead into a Return to Moria inspired Shadowdark campaign. Go back to the beginning of this till I have it all memorized. Okay, stats first. Ooh, we got a 15 strength. +2. And we got an 11 dexterity. That's a 0. Constitution. We've got a 12. +1. And we got a 9 intelligence for a -1. Wisdom. We got a 8 for a -1. And charisma. We got a 9. Fat fingered that key. -1. He gets his Constitution modifier for hit points, right? Well, let's do this first. Stout. And Dwarvish in common. Background. Well, I don't think those ability scores are going to make for a very good surgeon, so a barbarian or orphans. What do you guys pick? Time to hydrate. Barbarian. Sounds good to me. Makes sense. One and 2 is chaotic. 3 and 4 is lawful. 5 and 6 is neutral. And we got chaotic. Deity. Well, I don't think it's Shun the Vile, because that's a witches and sorcerers. Ramlot is the pillagers, the barbaric, the horde. Many orcs worship him and live by blood right. The prophecy says that only the strongest will survive a coming doom, or Memnon, first manifestation of chaos. Madeira's twin, a red-maned Leonin being whose ultimate ambition is to rend the cosmic laws of the Covenant from his sister's skin. Ramlot, right? We need to do HP. Yeah, equal to their constitution modifier minimum of 1, but as a dwarf they get +2, so he gets 3. And it doesn't have a dexterity modifier, so AC is 10. And now we just need a name. I'm going to be really disappointed in this dwarven name generator, I can tell you that already. Yeah, we're just going to go with fantasy name generator. All right, so above 50% is female. And he rolled a 1, so he's a male. All right, so we're going to click that thing 6 times. And roll another d10. Roll a 5. Nacrolig Smelt Buckle. How about we just do Corlig? How about Corlig Smelt Knuckle? If I could type today. I'm kind of sitting at a weird angle to be able to roll these dice in this dice tray. So my hand is not in the normal position for the keyboard. All right, and we got to get some gear, right? So where's the gear at? All right. So he's going to get 1d4 pieces of equipment off of this list. He's going to get 2. He does not have, they do not have brass knuckles. But anybody could make that up and add it later. So the idea behind this meat grinder is in this particular instance, in this particular meat grinder, my players are going to play these characters, like they're going to get 4 of these characters from a stack and play the meat grinder, and then the surviving characters, whatever's left over, they can either choose to level 1 up to level 1 and play it, or we're going to level them up to level 1 NPCs. And give them some type of job at the starting town, and then those characters can level, those NPCs can level up as the characters level up. And so if you have a blacksmith NPC, the blacksmith can level up with you and make you better weapons and armor and stuff like that. So this guy could be a guard, or he could be a henchman that they hire to go into dungeons with him and stuff like that. And he could get brass knuckles or something to that effect. What we rolled is a torch and a club. So, with that in mind, we'll go back here and we'll, down in attacks, we'll put club. And he gets plus, not equals. He has a 2 strength, so he gets +2 to hit. And 1d4 +2 damage. And that's Korlig. And we'll bring him over here. And then we'll open another sheet. And 1, 2, 3 human, 4, 5, 6 dwarf. Gonna be a human. Let's roll those stats. That's an 8 strength. -1. And that's a 10 dexterity. No modifier. Constitution. That's a 7. -2. Intelligence is a 14. +2. Wisdom. An 11. No modifier. And charisma. That's a 10. No modifier. Human, bold, adaptable, and diverse. People who learn quickly and accomplish mighty deeds. You know the common language and 1 additional common language from page 32. And ambitious, you gain 1 additional talent at first level, which doesn't do them any good right now, but will do them good later. If they survive. Common and 1 additional language. Common language from page 32. Common languages: Dwarvish, Elvish, Giant, Goblin, Marin, Orcish, Reptilian, Sylvan, and Thanian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to roll a d10 and we're just going to re-roll any result that says come. Actually, I'm going to redo that because I don't want some of these languages. I don't want to bother. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. They know Elvish. Okay. Background. I'm going to roll just to see, but I think we might make them a Churgeon. I don't know. I just rolled Wizard's Apprentice, and they do have a 14 intelligence. Yeah, let's make them a Wizard's Apprentice. Okay, alignment. I think that's what's next, right? Yep. 1 and 2 is chaotic. 3 and 4 is lawful. 5 and 6 is neutral. They are neutral. Right. It makes absolute sense. And we need the deity. I think we're going to go with Ord. Ord the Unbending, the Wise, the Secret Keeper. He is the god of magic, knowledge, and secrets. And HP is only going to be 1. Armor class is going to be 10. And now we got to get to that gear list. E4. He gets 4 pieces of equipment. Well, I guess we don't know if it's a he yet. So get that D12 out. Well, a lot of these 0 level characters have 1 HP. Okay, so he gets a pole. A rope. A dagger. I don't remember what that last one was. Gonna re-roll it. A flint and steel. Can light torches, doesn't have a torch. We need to go back to page 2. Dagger, 1d4. Can use it with dexterity so he doesn't get a negative to hit with it. 1d4, and it's also thrown. Okay. And now a name. And let's roll those percentile dice to determine male, female. Female, 54. Oh, that's a species name. I didn't want to click on that. Ooh, do we want old female names or female names? Oh, those are just single names. I'm okay with that. What do you guys think? Female names or old female names? These female names look almost impossible to pronounce in some cases, in most cases. We're going to go with old female names. And why are they giving me an odd number like that? First, we're going to generate 5 times. And we'll just roll a d20. Not going to be 18 names there. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Madelon. Or Elsa. What do you think? Chat? Or if you see another one on the list that you like, you can pick that. Not speaking to you? All right. Anything on that list? Shall we roll on it? Let's just roll a d12 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. April is kind of lame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cecily? Or do you see one that you like? Aruna? Wilfrida? Teresa? Which one's your favorite, Tyler? Kenna, all right. There we go. Sounds sorcerousy. I can get behind that. Alright. And there's another one down. Sorcerousy, scientific, very scientific. I back that up. Alright, let's roll some stats for this next one. Well, first, we're just gonna roll stats first. Alright. 7. 10. 10. So we know that's going to be... No, we don't know that's going to be a 1 yet, because we might get dwarf. Intelligence... 15. Hope you know my brain is writing instant backstories for all of these as they are rolled. I won't remember any of it, but in the moment they are so fleshed out. I love that. That's perfect. It's like a reflex. I know the feeling. Wisdom. Ooh. 17. And charisma. 6. All right. Now we're going to do that ancestry. So we're going to do 1 is a halfling, anything else is a dwarf. And we have a dwarf. Big shock, right? And next, so that dwarf is going to have 3 hit points. We'll roll for it, but I'm really gonna lean towards the surgeon or herbalist or acolyte, because I really see this character being leveled up to a priest or a healer of some type. But we'll roll for it just in case we get something wild that we really like. 6. Orphaned. Unusual garden rescued and raised you. That could be fun, because we could come up with an interesting guardian. Like a treant. Or... I don't know. Let's stick with orphaned. Or do we want to go with surgeon? Let's do this. We have orphaned. We have herbalist. That's 2. We're going to skip right over acolyte. And we're going to go to scholar for 3. Or surgeon for 4. We're going to roll that d4. We got herbalist. All right, now I think alignment is next. Yep. Same as usual. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6 down the line. Lawful. Saint Taragnis, a legendary knight who is the patron of most lawful humans. She ascended to godhood long ago and is the embodiment of righteousness and justice. Madeira the Covenant was the first manifestation of law. She carries every law of reality, a dictate called the Covenant, written on her skin in precise symbols. I think we're going to go with the Lost. Because that sounds fun to me. Yeah, are you surprised? Okay, AC is going to be 10. And gear. Four pieces of gear to start. Where'd my D12 go? There it is. I mean, curious to know why this character's carrying around iron spikes. I can guess what they're going to get up to with a flask of oil. For a recreation. I like recreation. And it's getting weird now. It's getting real weird. Well, now the rope makes more sense. All right. And no weapons there, so now it's straight to names. And we need to roll for male or female. I'm keeping this character, keeping it. This character has some interesting group activity hobbies, right? Female. And we're going to reroll that twice. Holgrowin Longarm or Deratratelin Anvil Mantle. Why's it got to be such a mouthful? I'm not crazy about any of those names. Algatrude Grumble Chest isn't bad. Let's see if anything jumps out at us. Nuzmabella Thunder. These are just too much. There's got to be some like different. I'm sorry, 1 second. All right, let's see here. Oh boy. Holler if you see anything that jumps out at you. Yeah, good luck with that, Tyler. Yep, that's it right there. Carnella Axe Braid, except we got to take the E out. All right. She's done. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to call it a night. Does that sound fair? Leader of a matriarchal sister clan of to the Axebeards. Absolutely. We used to play the mobile game Clash Royale as a family. And my daughter's character name, mine of course was Axebeard. My daughter's character name was Axebraid. All right. Ability scores. $11. $10. 15. 9. 16. 18. Maxed it out. Okay. Ancestry. This one's going to be a dwarf. Yeah, you know what? We'll roll for it. There's a 1 in 6 chance that it's a halfling, but nope, it's a dwarf. That's 4 hit points. Okay. Background. We're gonna go with that charisma. We could go Thieves Guild. We could go Minstrel. We could go Noble. Let's throw in Jeweler, just because. Minstrel it is. Alignments. neutral. And deity. Gotta be Geed, right? The god of feast, mirth, and the wilds. Gear. How many pieces of gear? 3. You know what? We're gonna give her a musical instrument. Well, I guess we don't know if it's a her yet, but we're gonna give them a musical instrument. What do we want to give them for a musical instrument? Any ideas? Yeah. What if we do a mandolin? Nope, I didn't roll for gender already. You're right. Good catch. Yep, 27. They are male. Caloric. Caloric deficit. Alto. I don't know. Understone? Yeah. We can go with Understone. All right. So let's find a first name. Something kind of prissy. Noble dwarf with the privilege of growing up a musician. Yeah. Bardnorum. How about Bardnor? Bardnor Understone. All right. And that's it. So we got. And then he can go around saying that his parents knew from the moment he was born, right? He was born with this mandolin in my hand. All right, we got Bardnor Understone, the minstrel. We got Carmala Axebraid, the herbalist. We got Kenna, the human wizard's apprentice. We got Cortlig Smeltknuckle, the dwarf barbarian. And we got. Oh, it's not what I wanted to do. Tharkath Goodstride. Why didn't they capitalize Goodstride? The Halfling Acolyte. All right. That's going to be it for me tonight, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for engaging in chat, Tyler and Jubo. And thanks for everybody for lurking, too. Like I said, any questions at all about any of it, shoot me a message on Discord. If you're not on my Discord, that'll take you to the Ashen Legion Discord. And from there, if you want an invite to the Dungeoneers Guild, you only have to ask. But the irony of a halfling being called Goodstride. Wow. Right? Right? That's why they're on the road, though. That's why they're not living at home. So, all right. I don't know if I want to raid anybody. I don't know. We'll see if we'll see if there's any friends to raid. Let's put it that way. I think we're just going to call it tonight, folks. But again, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back at the very latest Tuesday, streaming with Jubo Return to Moria as normal. I'm going to try and this week work in a stream for another stream like this. I'll make up the rest of these NPCs that I want to make up. Maybe make another first level character. Doing that for the folks that are in different time zones on different shifts, live in different schedules. so that everybody gets a chance. So it'll probably be a weekday, late morning to midday my time, which is Central Time. So right around that time that Jubo and I normally stream, but not on Tuesday, obviously. So, like I said, reach out on Discord, and hope you all have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Later.